Hi, my name is Kaylee and this is the second video for Ansible. Okay, now let's move on to the Ansible files. The env file is used to provide AWS credentials when Ansible interact with AWS. So you need to put values from .aws credentials into the .env file. So this is need to be secured, so I don't want to show you. And yeah, let's move to the inventory. The inventory folder holds a list of hosts. This YAML file represents the Ansible EC2 dynamic inventory configuration. So dynamically assigning AWS EC2 instances to Ansible groups. So let's running this one. See the Ansible ls. Okay, let's run. What was that? Ansible inventory path. Okay, you can see the instances we created before. So we are gonna use these 3 instances. And the Ansible the configuration file specifies the path to the inventory file and stores user authentication information. So where is the private key? Yes, and the site.yaml file is an Ansible playbook. So you can check if the file is well written using the command, the Ansible lint site. And it took a long time, but yeah, it doesn't have any problems. So let's see the file. The site YAML file this playbook consists of 3 task categories: the front-end setup, the database setup, and the back-end setup. So first is front-end setup, and the host is the web instance. Yeah, I have a variable here, the user and the local file, the path. And I create a directory to store index.html file because we're going to replace it. And the copy index file from local machine to web instance. So I use a copy, and I insert the nginx and replace the default file to direct the nginx using the index file we provide. Handler is restart nginx. The default file is changed, it will trigger the handler. And this is a database setup in the DB instance. So I set some variables here. And I insert MySQL Server and some Python related one. The configure MySQL to listen to the private IP. Start enable MySQL service here, and I did some tags here. And I create a new database with the name backend, and the login user is root. And yes. And I created the user. So the username is what was that? Example. And we're gonna see there is a user example in the database instance later. And this is the backend setup. So there is the variables. And I use the file, make a directory, to store the backend files. And the copy, I use the copy and the files from the local machine. And I install some Python related in the dependencies. And using pip, I insert some Flask other things in the requirements file. And I got the database instance ID to connect the backend, but it was failed. You're gonna see later. But yeah, I tried. I'd create configure backend.configuration file dynamically, and I think this the syntax is right, but somehow it didn't work. And yeah, I replaced the backend.service file and then triggered the handler here and the demo rewrote. So we're gonna run the ansible. So okay, let's see the ansible playbook. It takes a long time. Okay, we are almost done. Maybe. Okay, we are installing the requirements.txt. Okay, so far so good. Running handler. Okay, everything looks good. And then let's see the instance, web instance, and what was that? This one. See. Okay, it is replaced with the index file we provided, and then let's check database. Okay, let's go to SSH to the database. we have this user example, and let's see, show databases. Databases. Okay, we have backend data. And use backend database show tables. You don't have a table, so the connection to the backend was not good, I think. So the db.py was not ran. So, but at least we check that there's a user, there is database created. So I'm gonna exit, and then we can check the backend. Connect to the CD backend source as there's backend first and the backend. Yeah, there are a bunch of files from the local machine, and let's run this file Python 3. This is not working. Yeah, somehow. So let me know how to fix it later, Nathan. Okay. But at least the playbook was working. So yeah, however, there seems to be an issue with the backend. The app doesn't seem to be working. Yes, but yeah, the connection with the database had a problem, I think. So I changed the MySQL host in the backend configuration file to the public IP of the DB instance, but something seems to be wrong. But it was working. And yeah, this concludes my demo. Thank you for watching. Thank you.